I have a few air horn sets from cars that I've had over the years, and until a few days ago I was questioning why I was holding on to them. I mean, they're basically brand new. Drill-powered air horns seem to be all the rage these days, and I figured what better way to annoy my wife than make one for the next time she's in the backyard working on her golf swing. I have this 18-volt rigid drill, and if it looks like I pulled it out of the garbage, well, that's because I did. It stopped working a while back, but my phobia of completely getting rid of any tool prevented me from sending it to the landfill. It's kind of like that one friend everyone has. The lights are on, but nobody's home. I'm not going to go crazy trying to fix this thing up, so if it doesn't work, I have a backup plan. Before I start taking any of the drills apart, I want to test each compressor and just hear what they sound like. I have my winch battery off to the side right here, so I'm going to test it. This is the Harbor Freight air horn. When it was in my van, it really didn't sound very loud, but let's see what it sounds like right now. Wow, that was extremely loud. Alright, let's test the other one. I got this air horn out of a car I just bought, and I never tested it out, so I just want to make sure it doesn't play something weird like La Cucaracha or something. It does. I think it's like the Dixie horn. Yep. So since this one isn't going to work, I'm going to take the good air hoses, they're a little more pliable, and 2 of the bigger horns and set them up on the other compressor. So here's what I'm working with. I took the drill apart and I gutted what I did need, and when I tested the output to the motor, I was only getting partial voltage passing through with full voltage at the input of the switch. I took the switch out and I opened it up, and I'm willing to bet that this little voltage regulator went bad and caused the initial drill failure. I removed the voltage regulator and started probing around in continuity mode, looking for paths I can tap into and sort of hot wire the switch. I soldered on a few pieces of wire that bypass the circuitry of the switch and sends full battery power to the output when the trigger is pressed. The next part is pretty much a run what you brung kind of situation. The inside of the housing needs to be cleaned out enough to fit the horn compressor. Some people use a Dremel, but this custom HYPERTOUGH band file that I made in another video is making quick work of removing the excess plastic. A link to that video build is in the description below. I wanted to make this thing look halfway decent, so I decided to dye the plastic parts black. I soaked them in my ultrasonic cleaner, and for the most part it cleaned up pretty well. I mixed some water with a bottle of graphite RIT dye and 10 ounces of acetone into a vessel that I strategically borrowed from my wife. I heated the mixture to around 185-190 degrees on a butane camp stove and cooked the parts for around an hour. Fellas, if my wife asks why the sauce tastes funny, do me a favor and don't tell her I was playing mad scientist in the garage with her grandma's vintage Farberware sauce pot. Since the compressor was pretty beat up, I decided to take it apart and refinish it too. It's pretty cool how these little compressors are engineered. It's just this little rotating cylinder that's positioned off center in the bore, and as it spins around, these little flaps get pushed out to the walls to move air. Speaking of engineering, you can play engineer with the Pretengineer hats available on lucidautoworks.com. It's got a laser engraved patch on a genuine flex fit hat, and it's available in 2 sizes in a few different colors. Everything is done in-house right here at the Lucid HQ, so check out the merch page on the website if you'd like to support the channel. Keep an eye on the website too, because more merch will be coming soon. I wasn't sure exactly what grease to use, so I just went with some super lube.
I put that on everything.
You can see here what I mean about the cylinder being off-center with the bore. I want to test out the compressor real quick and make sure that I put it together right. I put the insides back inside and used some 3M VHB tape to keep the compressor held in place. The only thing left to do now is mount the horns. Now, I could have just used some angle brackets to mount the horns to the drill, but I always got to be extra, so I CNC plasma cut a mounting bracket that uses the screw holes for the rear motor cover. The bracket is sandwiched between the body and the rear cover. Oh, and I powder coated it because I'm a psycho. If I knew how to 3D model complex parts, I would have 3D printed something, but for now, this'll do. All right, here's the moment of truth. Holy that is so loud, it just hurt my ears. All right, let's go mess around with this.
You what the are you doing?
That's all I need.